hurts. I am not gonna lie to you guys at home or to Michael. When I saw this, and I saw this at work, and so on my drive home from work, I'm man enough to admit I definitely cried pretty hard at this. And some of you, to most of you out there, this is no big deal whatsoever, and you're kind of wondering why we're leading off our news with this, because some people don't even know what this is or why this matters at all. But Family Video, I'll get into it in a bit, but Family Video is the reason the Uncharted Media Podcast exists, period. But for those that don't know, Family Video was basically a video rental store, a lot like Blockbuster, except cheaper, and still around until recently. But unfortunately, due to COVID, Family Video was closing a lot more and more locations. And a few days ago, they officially shuttered all their doors, and Family Video is closed for good. They are closing all their locations, never to open again. They said they're still going to have their online store, but it's not quite the same. So for that, I've got my Family Video shirt on today that I got a while ago to try and... This was before everything went to hell with Family Video. So, Michael, I'm sure you don't have as fond of memories as me, but I'm sure you still have plenty of memories because... it's going to be hard to quantify just how much Family Video has meant to me. And I know so many people are out there just like, I've never even heard of this place. It is a very Midwest thing, but we went to college in Illinois, and there's a whole lot of Family Videos. And there was a Family Video, maybe what would you say, maybe half a mile away from campus?
Yeah, if that.
And so I don't even think Michael knows this. And I'm totally fine with talking about this, but freshman year, Michael and I were on the same floor in college, but before we were friends, I didn't have a lot of friends. There was a lot of, and I'll say it to their face, there was a lot of hypocrites on our floor that said one thing but then excluded a lot of people. So I didn't have a lot of friends. I dreaded the weekends because it meant you had all this free time and no one to hang out with. So I looked forward to school week until I found Family Video, and I just kind of live there because it was like going to an old Blockbuster. You just walk up and down the aisles and see all these movies. I spent so much money there over the years, but I don't want to take back a single dollar of that. We had RAs that worked there. The management there knew us, so we never even had to put security deposits down for anything because they knew us so well and they trusted us. It's just rough to see that this is gone. I have a lot more to say, but I want to make sure I include Michael in this because you're one of the few people out there that I know has strong feelings and connections to this as well.
Yeah, I'll say yours runs a little bit more, personal because of your connection to this podcast. For me, it was the last surviving remnant of the store that you mentioned, Blockbuster. For me, Blockbuster and Family Video were more my connection to video games because we didn't have a whole lot growing up as far as access to like games because games are expensive, and Blockbuster and Family Video were easy ways to check them out to see if you actually like them, so that you could save up your allowance to actually buy the game. It was a cheap way of getting your parents to give you something to do for a little bit for not a lot of money. But it was also special in the fact that once my parents had a VHS tape player, we could go to Blockbuster, and that was, instead of going to the movies, which was always maybe a 2 or 3 times a year thing, we could go to Blockbuster and we can enjoy a movie together as a family. And it was the 90s, early 2000s version of immediate gratification, right? So if you missed a film in theaters, you could just go to Blockbuster and hope that they would have like a wall of the same movie and not just like one set and then all of them were all checked out. I mean, I know for the people that may listen to this, if the movie wasn't available, you couldn't watch it. You had to wait until someone checked it back in. And when we went to college, not having access to a lot of streaming, I visited Family Video independent from you, but I also did it for some gaming. And once I got connected with you,
oh yeah,
we roomed
I've got
together.
a gaming story to tell too.
Yeah, once you introduced me to some of your friends, we went on the family video runs together. You get like 8 movies, and you'd watch them over the course of a weekend. And you introduced me to a lot of series that you rented from Family Video. So it's a nostalgia trip. It's a harkening back to an age that is going away very quickly. And I sympathize with you, Nate. I really do. This is a goodbye old friend moment, and I'm right there with you. You're not alone in this.
Yeah, so like Michael talked about, we would make a lot of family video runs. Like if I didn't have a family video movie at some point in my possession, whether needing to return it or just picked one up, it was weird. Like I always had some form of a movie checked out or a game. I remember it was the only place you could rent games. I remember like going to family video right when it opened at 10 o'clock. I always remembered it was open at 10. The day Arkham Origins came out, to get Arkham Origins before anybody else, so I could rent that and play it. I promptly returned it 3 days later because I couldn't get past the stupid Deathstroke fight, and I rented it 4 separate times to try and beat the Deathstroke fight. But Family Video is so special to me, like I said, because it was my safe haven when I didn't really know a lot of people in college yet. But also, it fostered my love of film. Like, I loved movies my entire life. That's always been a part of my life, but I just never really realized or made the connection that I could do that for a living or do something with video. So I remember I had a stack of 5 or 6 movies one family video run because I was all by myself and had nothing better to do and just watch movies. And so I watched Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, and was something about that movie went, this is what I need to do the rest of my life. And so I remember texting my mom going, I'm watching Wrath of Khan and I know what I want to do with the rest of my life. I need to do something with movies. And she's like, that's awesome. But just from there, like you said, we went to family video all the time. It would be family video and Little Caesars because they were right next to each other. So you just basically set your evening up for like $9 because you get your pizza and your movies and then marathon everything. Like you said, we would get like 8 or 9 movies. We'd marathon the crap out of it. So it's no secret, as I have my Halloween poster here, I genuinely don't think that I am either a Halloween fan or a horror fan if there's no family video, because we went and picked up the first one because Cody Manning, one of my friends from college, was like, you've got to see Halloween. That's just a classic. I watched it every Halloween. So it's just like, oh, okay. So after we watched the first one, I was like, oh, wait, there's more? We've got to watch the whole series. And so we watched the entire thing. And then from there, we're like, oh, we've got to watch Sinister or 1408. And so we went on this whole horror binge, and I discovered this whole, it was like striking oil in the middle of nowhere, just going, there's this whole world that I didn't even know about. Before I was really doing the podcast or anything else, I started, what was it? Movie Guy 17 was the first name of the YouTube channel. And I started that because I was just experiencing a big love of movies. And so something I did with Josh in the very early days, and we still kind of want to bring back at some point, was 5 Good Things. The only way we were able to do 5 Good Things is because we were able to find these older, crappy movies at Family Video. Without Family Video, I don't discover horror. I don't have 5 Good Things. I probably don't get as close with Josh as I am now. There's just a lot of memories.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I am the person I am today without Family Video. Like, it's weird to say because it's just a video store to a lot of people. And it just sounds like hyperbole, but Family Video hit me at just the right point in my life that I needed it the most and left a huge impact. This was a foregone conclusion. As soon as I saw stores were closing, I was like, this probably will happen, but it still doesn't soften the blow any. And it sucks because this is such an old school thing. I'm such an old fashioned person I like to physically shop for stuff. If I can find it in person, I'd much rather do that than Amazon or whatever else. And this was just, it wasn't so much a specifically looking for a certain movie every time. It was, let's discover something. Because it's different discovering a movie in a store as opposed to, oh, I've heard this title on Netflix is pretty good. Let's check it out. It's not the same.
It's not the same. You're 100% right. And I will say that, I saw that. Like, I saw the fire in your eyes be kindled, and it wasn't not to my desire or liking, because I remember the night you said you were going to watch Sinister, and it was one of those nights that you guys took over the study room, which was many, many weekends. Oh,
Nope,
did you
nope.
watch it?
Sinister was in Cody and Dan's room
Oh, was it? Okay.
because
I will.
because I remember during Sinister, somewhere there's like 7 or 8 of us in this tiny dorm, and somebody decides during a really tense moment that they decide to scare Josh. And if you don't know Josh, he has a flight or fight reflex. So Neslo like does one of those, and Josh jumps a mile in the air and decides to just start wailing on Neslo for scaring the crap out of him. And it was the most entertaining thing I have ever seen, to see Josh literally crap himself.
That was yeah, that's a movie I don't think I'll ever watch, but I just I remember you talking about it. Like, I remember that kind of awakening sophomore year. Those are some great memories, man, and stuff that you will always have. So nothing can take that away from you. But I guess officially, I am sorry for your loss, pal.
No other store like Toys R Us. Sure, that's more of like a death to nostalgia. But to be honest, Toys
Yeah.
R Us was always overpriced, and they deserved death a long time ago anyway. But Family Video, it's just especially sucky. I've just like,
Yeah.
because we had a wedding that Heather and I went to a few months ago, and it was a road trip, and on the way back we're like, we're gonna pass some Family Videos, but it's like 3 hours out of our way. I really wish we would have taken that chance just to
Mm.
go one more time, but at least we have photographic proof of the last time Heather and I went to a Family Video. So yeah. Goodbye, Family Video. You'll be sorely missed. Thank you for shaping me into who I am today. Without you, I'm a completely different person, but I'm glad of who I am because of Family Video, so